Verse 1 begins, "When the Lamb opened the seventh seal." Here is one of the pivot points of the book of Revelation. The opening of the seventh seal will bring in the 7 trumpets, and the sounding of the 7th trumpet will bring in the pouring of the 7 bowls. This act is releasing the contents of the rest of the book. There was silence in heaven for about half an hour. This interval takes place before the appearance of the trumpets. The enigmatic statement can be explained by reference to the rest of Revelation. Firstly, we must notice that in verse 5, when the trumpets are about to blow, there will be peals of thunder, voices, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. The same kind of thing happens after the last of the trumpets, and again after the last of the bowls, signaling the approach of judgment. In other words, there is corresponding noise in heaven when God's wrath is acting upon the earth. The obvious conclusion is that silence in heaven obliquely indicates a time when God's wrath is not acting upon the earth. Then we are told later that the 10 kings receive authority as kings for 1 hour, together with the beast. If we see 1 hour in part of Revelation and half an hour in another, it seems reasonable to suppose that the two are connected. That is, the overall statement carries the meaning, the beast rules for a certain period of time, and for the first half of that period God does not trouble it, does not try to destroy its power. The time of truce continues, so that there is a period of relative tranquility between the two bouts of havoc and destruction. The remainder of this book is about the second half of the hour, the beast at war with God and God's response. This verse alone covers the first half an hour before he makes his challenge. John says, "Then I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and 7 trumpets were given to them." The 7 trumpets will be proclaiming catastrophe. At first glance, the next few chapters look like a random series of catastrophes. However, I think they need to be understood as one devastating catastrophe of the natural world, described in several different ways. This is what happens when God brings his power to bear on the destruction of the kingdom of the beast. In that function, they are very closely associated with the 7 bowls. These two sequences, the trumpets and the bowls, are so similar that they are often regarded as duplicate versions of the same story. But the real clue to the relationship is that the state of the world after the bowls is considerably worse than the state of the world after the trumpets. The most obvious example is the way the condition of the sea deteriorates. I see them, then, as the beginning and end points of the same set of events, with each trumpet and bowl combination representing a different aspect of the process. On that basis, I feel entitled to cross-reference between the two sequences, and use them to throw light on each other. The 7 trumpets are setting in motion the destruction of the world, and the 7 bowls bring it to a climax.